Interlude chapter. Now I can't English properly. We're playing the new chapter. God damn it, Jesus! All right. Before I do that, I have a couple things I need to take care of, such as making a certain wish for a certain wanderer and getting these. Thank you. What's this? Oh, this is a thing. I see how long I have not been on this game. I don't even know what this is. Okay. Wish time. I'm not getting the Wanderer first try, but I'll try. It's something gold. Oh my god, I got the Wanderer first try! Okay. Wait a second. Wait a second. I didn't expect that. Wait. I'm genuinely astonished by this. Holy cow. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Wow. Okay, first of all, let me... What the fuck is he? Cow. Okay, let's... What the fuck are you doing, Skara? I'm so amazed by this. I'm gonna just give him random artifacts for now. Until I'm not gonna worry about what I'm giving him until I start leveling his character up. Nah. Why did it automatically give him the lowest weapon? I know he's a level 1, but listen. You gonna have to get why does this kind of match you? I'll give you this for now. Jesus. Okay. Wow. Alright. Perfect start. Let's start this Archon quest. I still have yet to have done Sinosauric. What the fuck have I been doing? I don't know. You know what? Doesn't matter. You know what? We're just gonna go to the Sanctuary of Saristana. We're gonna get this started. That was like the best starting that I could. I'm going to take a scoop of ice cream now. Wow. Completely unexpected. Here I am. Not gonna get Wanderer first try. Gets Wanderer first try.
Come on, serious suggestions, please. I'm not trying to write a thriller here. It's supposed to be an essay, you understand? An essay. That means facts and logic.
Well, if it's facts and logic you're after, you shot yourself in the foot with your choice of research topic, didn't you? The Zataris Suna mystery. When so much remains unexplained, there's little to be objective about.
Unless you discover.
Of course, you restrict yourself to textual criticism.
Yeah, well,
You got a
this
point.
is my teacher's area of research. I can't change that. But it's fascinating enough without having to sensationalize it, don't you think? The strange location, the missing details, a mysterious person. I want to write my essay on something interesting, and I'm interested in getting to the bottom of all this. That's the only reason I came to you.
Yes, you came to me. So
I can
all
tell
the
you
more
the
reason to
little
take
bit that
my
I know of
advice.
Tatara
The
Suna.
fact is, it's the dramatization that will make people want to read it. There's no getting around that.
Okay, but...
Did one of them just mention Tatara Suna?
Mm-hmm.
But that's all the way in Inazuma.
You're right.
Is it just Paimon, or is it kinda unusual for someone in Sumeru to want to write a paper about that?
I mean, well, you
Everyone
have.
here's just going about their business.
I mean, think about all the
Maybe it
people
really
in
is
all the
just
7 nations of Tavat.
Guess people here
They
are
all
free to
probably
research pretty
known
much
something of some location that they've written about at some point. Never thought about it that way?
Let's go find out what this Tatara Suna mystery is all about.
Alright. Version of Genesis. Yeah, let's go listen in.
Alright, I guess I'll go with my textual criticism and your editorial direction for the first draft. I have a feeling that the missing Kabuki Mono will end up being the main
Kabuki
focus
Mono.
of this paper. Ugh, if only we knew where to find that traveler. From what they say about him, this seems like the kind of thing he'd know about.
Hey, perfect timing. Looking for me?
Oh, you're the traveler, you say?
Hey, what's with that face?
What's with the tone?
No, of course I believe you. Actually, I first heard about your great exploits when I was still in Inazuma. This is
Really?
my first time coming face to face with you and your mysterious silver-haired companion. I couldn't believe my luck, and out of force of habit, I started, examining the evidence. Sorry.
Oh, so what? For the love of... Sorry, we don't get out much, so our social skills are kind of lacking.
I see.
Traveler, I hear you've helped many people a great deal and been to many places. Would you be able to tell us about Tatara Suna?
Imagine if he was just like,
Actually,
nah.
We don't know much about that place either.
Yeah.
But we only came over here because we heard you talking about it and wanted to learn more.
Ah, I see. My teacher chose this area of research as a personal challenge. He said it's difficult to get into because even Inazumans don't know much about Tatara Suna's past. But who'd have thought that...
If you don't mind, I'd love to show you all my outline for the book I'm writing about Tatara Suna.
Hold on, Sawada. Don't you think that's a bit of a deep dive or a first read?
Well, fair point. In that case, please ease yourselves in gently by taking a look at Akaba's latest essay draft.
Let me give you some background. This all started with the discovery of some records in Tatara Suna. The writings mentioned someone by the name of Mikoshi Nagamasa, who crafted a fine blade.
Mikoshi Nagamasa.
But in the end, he threw it into a fire to destroy it, and killed his servant Katsuragi. Why?
Wait a second, Katsuragi, that
no
name
one
sounds
knows.
familiar. Why does that name sound familiar? Am I
Apart from
tripping?
the sword maker, his servant, and
Katsuragi.
the one who wrote this all down, the records also mention a Kabuki Mono. This seems to be an Inazuman word for an eccentric stranger. Someone who dresses funny or acts in an unusual way.
Scaramouche.
That's right. Akaba's teacher has spent quite some time researching these events on the ground. This Kabuki Mono lived in Tatara Suna for a while before disappearing without a trace. And shortly afterwards, as Akaba mentioned, things got pretty ugly.
So first this strange person goes missing, then a murder happens? Seems kind of fishy to Paimon.
Yes, my thoughts exactly. So I helped out too. I asked everyone I could think of if they knew anything about what happened back then. And wow, did I get lucky!
Stop shouting!
This part's important. I just wanted to make it stand out. It just so happens that a friend of mine works at the government records office. He looked into it for me, and I can now confirm that all the aforementioned individuals did, in fact, live in Inazuma over 400 years ago. Even back then, Tatara Suna was already at the center of Inazuma's smelting industry. The man in charge was a government official named Niwa. Curiously enough, it seems like he went missing too.
Wait, so there are 2 missing people in this story now?
That's right! What's more, Niwa is a name with a lot of history to it. Have you ever heard of the great swordsmith clans of Inazuma?
Yes.
Oh, the swordsmiths? Yeah, like Ishin art and so on?
Wow, yes. You really know your stuff. That makes things easier. So basically, this Niwa was a distant relative of the Kaidahara clan.
Oh shit, the Kaidahara clan. Oh snap.
Ishin art. Something then seems to have happened in the Kaidahara clan, leading to their downfall.
Yep.
I don't know the details, but taken in light of everything else going on around that time, it makes you wonder whether it's all connected somehow.
The
You know,
Kaidahara clan?
it kind of does.
Sawada, you left out the biggest detail of all.
Oh,
There's
yes,
more?
of course. How could I forget? Brace your minds, ladies and gents, for they are about to be blown. Or maybe you won't believe your ears. I wouldn't blame you, of course, because in all my years as a writer, this is by far the most.
You just get
the
to it.
point, for
Thank you.
Pete's sake.
Get to
According
it.
to information acquired by Akaba's teacher, the Kabuki Mono was not a human, but a puppet.
Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised? I know a puppet.
Puppet?
Scar fucking moosh. The Shogun's wait. The Shogun. No, stop autoplaying. The Kabuki Mono has to be the Aladir. Excuse me. Damn, I sound like Brig. But what was he doing 400 years ago in Tatarasuna?
Aha! Judging by the looks on your faces, you do know something after all.
Yeah, we might actually. Glares at Paimon. I hope she keeps her mouth shut. That's a nice way of just telling Paimon to shut up.
No! Paimon just meant, how creepy. The way you described it makes it sound like a ghost story.
I agree, it does. But considering that non-human races in Inazuma are by no means uncommon, spooky events are to be expected. And that's
Fair point.
exactly what my book is about. Please, take a look.
I don't wanna. Uh-huh. Do I want to read all this? Author, Sawada. Extract 1. A man arrived in Tatarasuna around 3 in the afternoon from afar. Why am I struggling to read all of a sudden? He spiced labors... He spied oh my god. I'm tempted to press circle. Why am I struggling? He spied laborers walking along the mountain road towards the factories. Their shoes scuffing along the jutting stones. They walked like people, convinced that so long as they reached the fire raging in the mountain's belly, they might extract from it gems beyond price. That they might extract from gems beyond price. Okay. The mood that the sight inspired was ineffable beyond mere description for those not present. For those not present to witness it. Why am I trying to scroll down? That's it. No. Oh no, there's a whole. I'm not reading all that.
And please read my essay draft as well.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So here's what I'll do. I'll let someone else do the reading for me, and then I'll go over it and then, you know, I'll learn what it is that I need to learn.
Sawada was encouraging me to follow his more creative approach, but I think essays should be grounded in facts. I don't think explaining everything away with mysterious forces will cut it.
You're not wrong.
Oh, how about if I plug the holes in Sawada's narrative with political intrigue? Like, I could put a turf war between rival factions at the center of the whole series of events.
Wait, you're allowed to just make stuff up? Pretty sure you've gone from essay to guessay there.
Yeah, it sounds more like a novel.
Akaba, look. Your teacher has researched this extensively. I've reached out to everyone I could think of. Whatever information we have now is all that there is to know. This is as much detail as you're ever going to get. Besides, if there really was a political power struggle going on at anything like the level you seem to be suggesting, what hope would we ever have of finding out the truth?
Good point. Okay.
Why
back
does
to the
Sawada's
drawing
voice sound
board, I
familiar?
guess. Give me some time. I need to find a new angle on this.
We have some other stuff to do, so we'll have to say goodbye for now. Good luck with your essay.
All right, thank you. If you find out any more info about all this, please do let me know. Thanks so much.
Hey, so that thing they were talking about, it has to do with the balladeer, doesn't it? Okay, then even if we did know something about it, we probably couldn't share it with them, huh? After all, we kicked his butt and got him locked up. Information about people like that is usually super confidential, isn't it? If you ask Paimon, Akaba should just pick a different topic. There must be as many essay topics as there are trees in the forest. There's no point in...
Paimon. I'm sorry.
Hey, did you see that? He literally just went by, over there. It looked like...
Yeah, that's him.
Balladeer! No, it can't have been. He got locked up. Oh, quick, let's catch up and see.
Paimon just had a moment. It couldn't have been. No way. Now we're haul-assing to make sure we take care of serious down, take care of serious down. Mentoring. Why he was just freely walking, roaming. What if I nickname him Scar? So that's about as much as I know of this Archon quest that you can nickname him. Nahida! And Scar?
Traveler, Paimon, there you are. Nahida! Bad news. We just saw the balladeer strolling around in public. Did he escape or... Ah! It's him!
Sure enough, you're here.
Hey! What are you doing in the sanctuary of Surastana? Aren't you supposed to be laughed at?
Calm down, calm down.
I have a lot of questions. Please, allow me to explain. It was my idea to set the balladeer free. We made a deal, and he's gonna do some investigation in Irminsul for me.
Oh.
A deal? Huh. You sure you trust this guy?
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumeru would keep me around otherwise? Or maybe killing me is all you can think about.
Okay, I don't want to kill
But
you
if that's
now.
the case, why haven't you done it already?
Don't flatter yourself. It was... Nahida said there's still some mysteries in you to figure out.
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd finish the job? Guess I had you all wrong. There I was thinking you were just getting cold feet.
Well, that escalated quickly. Not a good start. Could I ask you all to please calm down?
Seriously, like.
But Paimon's worried about you, Nahida. Don't let him trick you.
But it was Nahida's idea.
It's not every day you see people questioning the God of Wisdom's judgment.
Yeah, well.
Just when you think you've seen it all.
Don't you dare try to drive a wedge between us.
As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal. Even with the Balladeer.
Well,
after all, you did do a deal with the Tory and learned some mind-blowing information.
You even struck a deal with the doctor.
Yeah.
Yes, one in which I gained valuable information. You'll come to understand more about that in the fullness of time. The Balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to be a strategic threat to us. That puts him in quite a precarious position.
Understandable.
Plus, he's a former Harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets.
You're
Being
right.
stuck here in Sumeru could make him a sitting duck, depending on how the Fatui plan to respond.
Damn.
Wait a second. Farmer? You mean he's not a Harbinger anymore?
I take no pleasure in saying this, but it seems as if the doctor had no intention of welcoming back a loser,
So he tossed you out like trash.
Sometimes it's you using them, other times it's them using you. Most human relationships are this way. Certainly all the stable ones are. That's how it was between me and the Fatui, and also between each of the Harbingers. So as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. But after recent events, even I have to admit that I'm not worth quite what I used to be.
Really? What a crying shame.
Well, if the Fatui are gonna reevaluate my utility, I need to have a backup plan for myself.
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings, and you said you need protection. So, why not join forces with us?
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear, don't you? And they're your friends, so I guess you'll be siding with them.
Yeah, obviously! Nahida, don't listen to him!
Paimon, do me a favor.
And let's put that discussion
I need you to
the side
hush
for
that
now.
little motor
We
thing you
still
have on you.
time. Today
Alright?
can be a trial
Alright.
run. Where we go from here will depend on how well we manage to cooperate today.
Alright.
All right.
I'm cool with
Then
that.
I'll do what we agreed.
I'm cool with that.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch.
Nahida, are you serious about this?
Listen, Paimon, I know you're worried, but like, yes, we're serious
I have
about
my
this.
reasons for this decision. In fact, I'm largely doing it for your benefit.
For me?
Yes. As I told you once before, there's information about your twin in Irminsul.
Right.
Yeah. Actually, that's the whole reason we came to see you today. So, you have an update on that?
You may remember me mentioning that the Fatui had not included your twin's details in the Descender category.
Okay.
This is an extremely important point.
Yes, it is.
It's possible that the Fatui have other information that even I don't know about. And since the Balladeer used to be one of them, he'll be better acquainted with this information than I am. He was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became the god of a new era. Even though he no longer has the Gnosis, some traces of its power remain in him.
Okay.
He can still connect. The amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond description. Sifting through all of it without knowing what to look for would take too long, even for me. So I asked the Balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about the Descenders. He's more familiar with this kind of information, and should be able to find it more quickly.
But what if he lies to you?
Exactly!
I'm putting on my
What?
voice acting
What if-
skills, if you couldn't tell.
Paimon just doesn't trust him! He's treated us as enemies every time we've run into him!
I understand. But sometimes, everything is dictated by which side you're on. How things will go in the future depends on what information he brings back. And Traveler, I know what your heart desires most of all. Our minds have connected several times before. There's a corner of your heart reserved for an intense longing. A feeling of being all alone in the dark, searching for the one candle whose light still burns. As Sumeru's deity, it is my responsibility to be on guard against the Balladeer. But as someone who counts you as a friend, I want to do something for you. If this deal with the Balladeer can give you the answers you've been longing to find, then it's worth it.
Wait, hold on. We have some technical difficulties back here. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Nahida.
It's my pleasure, really. You're Sumeru's hero. You've more than earned it.
I'm still worried about this idea. Is there anything we can do to help?
I was going to contact you about that, but then you suddenly showed up on your own accord. Seems like we have a telepathic connection. In fact, I was going to ask you to supervise the Balladeer on my behalf while he carries out the task I assigned. Even though he only has a fraction of his full power left, that's still a fraction of a former Harbinger. If you could accompany him, it would put my mind at ease. Of course, I'll be there to help guide you through Irminsul from the outside.
Got it. I'm glad to be able to help.
Great. Thank you. Prepare yourselves. I'm going to transport you into Irminsul.
Okay. You ready to go back into Irminsul? Again? For like the third time now?
Wow. It looks pretty
Oh,
different
wow.
here compared to last time.
It's
colors are
bright
gentler.
and pretty now.
Guess that must be because Sumeru's at peace now.
Ah. Notice there's not like any red blocks floating around from, you know, like the sustainer of heavenly principle. Hey, look, it's the Balladeer. Hey, Scara.
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company. Oh, but I guess you panicked when you realized that I might enter Irminsul ahead of you.
Shut your beak, Jailbird! No way a
Jailbird,
prisoner gets to
damn.
be so smug!
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards. But right now, I'm on temporary release. So maybe you should think about backing off a little.
Sounds like a successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be entering into the innermost region of Irminsul.
Okay.
It is an environment like no other, and the most important place in all of Sumeru. Unlike anywhere else, Irminsul's inner region consists exclusively of torrents of information. You must put aside your differences and be extremely careful as you navigate your way through.
Okay.
I know there are many grievances between you on both sides, but it is essential that you remain calm after entry. This is as much for your own safety as anything else.
Understood.
Fine. Let's call it truce. But only until this mission's over.
Let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? We are gonna be traveling together after all.
Yeah.
Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front. It's my job to lead the way and get rid of any obstacles in our path. All you have to do is keep your pretty eyes open and try not to fall behind.
You sure are confident. Paimon will give you that. You make it sound like you're even more experienced at adventuring than us.
I mean, he is. If I'm not wrong, he is more experienced at adventure
If there are
than
no
us.
further objections, I suggest we get going. Or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Ew! Ugh, the snark on this guy. It's unbearable.
There's no need for all the biting sarcasm. Focus on doing your job.
We can start now.
Irminsul access granted. Initiating connection procedure.
Is this a small sapling?
Let's go.
Darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him.
This is certainly already becoming very interesting. An adventure with Scaramouche? Oh me, oh my. How exciting.
Wow. So this is the inside of Irminsul.
It's different than what I imagined.
Ooh. Paimon's never seen anything like this. And it feels like a sacred place.
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety of Teyvat. Every bit of information flowing here means something. Pick your jaws up off the floor. It's time to go.
Okay.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the opposite of everything he says?
Stop it,
Lesser Lord
Paimon.
Kusanali, we will now proceed to the heart of Irminsul.
Can you still sense where the heart of Irminsul is?
Yes. Permission to begin searching for information there?
Permission granted. Go ahead.
Let's go. Stay close. Don't go running off.
Hey, so say we did go running off and
Oh my god,
what
Paimon.
would happen? what are you smirking at?
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion's face if you went and got lost. Anything's possible in here. You can't rule anything out. So if you want to stay safe, your best option is to stick close to me.
Understood, you're the boss. Oh look, there's a thing.
These sapling things have spread out.
Those are all packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch them.
Okay. This music is interesting. I like it. Another one. And we get transported once more.
It
Look at
looks
where
the
we
same
are.
in every direction.
Space is indeed unusual, but it seems to the back. Okay.
No wonder he mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth.
Why would he have a reason to lie?
Is he mocking me again? What is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little?
Seriously.
We're here.
What a huge
Oh.
tree!
Wait, no, because that would be like a dope screenshot. This is the center of Irminsul. All the information in the world, it's flowing through it.
Lesser Lord Kusanali,
Good, you made it. Are you ready?
ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents. Establishing waypoint.
The Balladier's actually doing what Nahida tells him. Guess he must want to stay alive.
I mean, it's not like we were gonna kill him. He hasn't put up any resistance, and he seems good at working on this front line, Maybe he had a similar role in the Fatui. His name was Akaba, right? First Akaba and Swada's stories, now this? What a strange individual.
The rest is up to you. If you discover anything at all, make sure to share it with us.
Will do.
Huh. For once, we're the ones with nothing to do.
Traveler, Paimon, would you like to talk?
Nahida? Nahida? Is this a telepathic conversation?
Yes. I've also invited Paimon to join.
Wait. I've also invited Paimon to join. It's like joining a PlayStation party.
Huh? What the? We can talk to each other inside our heads?
I wish I could talk to people from inside my head. One person in particular. We don't gotta worry about that on stream. I'm guessing that you don't want us to disturb the Balladeer.
That's part of it. Plus, we're all friends. There's nothing wrong with us talking like this once in a while.
Paimon's never tried this before. This is great. wanted to ask you something. Don't you think the Balladeer's a bit of a walking contradiction? He's always talking back, but he seems to listen to what you say.
Yes, and he seems to excel at doing odd jobs for others.
As I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Things that are clear as day to me, but that he has yet to understand. Perhaps today will be the day that he finds some answers.
Is this about the past? Wait, is this about his past? The betrayals? And the other events in Inazuma?
Well done. Smart and attentive as always.
Actually, I caught a glimpse of a few things when I ran into Hypatia at Paradis Dia. Alright, I'm gonna stick with the word that I just said, yeah. You relate what you saw in the Balladeer's mind while in Paradis Dia.
You made contact with that part of his mind. Well, it's true. Betrayal turned the Balladeer into the person he is today.
Huh. Paimon thought nothing could get under that guy's skin.
Yeah.
Turns out, he can get hurt and angry just like anyone else.
No matter how emotionless you want to seem, you still have human emotion at the end of the day. Something will get under your skin and hurt you one way or another, and it will cause you to snap and lose your shit. I know. Trust me.
Everyone has a history, Paimon.
Yeah.
Even if you're a puppet created by the Electro Archon.
Exactly.
Speaking of puppets, we ran into two people at the Academia today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic was about the Tatarasuna incident. Nahida, do you know anything about that?
That too, I'm curious.
If you mean the mysterious events, the Kabuki Mono and so on, yes. I know about all of that.
Are you
Because from what they
Are you
were
willing to
saying,
share this
it
information?
sounded like lots of Tatarasuna's history is still unexplained. And most of the information we have now is just from
Well,
people
she's the
filling
god
the
of
gaps with
wisdom,
their
you know,
imagination.
so she kind of has all the knowledge and wisdom. So, you tell Nahida about the story Akaban Suwada
How interesting.
told you. Yeah,
Those two managed to deduce quite a lot
the
through
first name.
guesswork
Why
alone.
am I struggling for his
So the
first name?
Genshin got it right?
The Gesse.
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatarasuna was sabotaged.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not involved.
Wait, how do you know this?
What makes you think we're talking to each other?
Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of said conversation.
We have every right to keep certain things confidential.
Of course you do. You can't have your prisoner knowing too much.
So...
It's not necessarily about that.
Have you found anything yet?
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nothing on either of you in Irminsul at all.
Wait, how did you know about that? Did Nahida tell you?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few
He's not
things about
wrong.
you.
Every conversation with you is hard work, but your attitude is better than I thought.
Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself. And making cordial conversation is something I can manage. Huh? Wait.
This light. It looks similar to those saplings. What could it be?
Anonymous data.
Anonymous data.
Hey, don't you forget the agreement. You have to share it with us.
He just saw it.
Just wait.
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk? We are talking about Tatarasuna's furnace, after all. It may not pay to act rashly.
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
What the fuck? Why do I know that voice?
Is that so? Well, since you insist.
It's...
That name, Niwa, was the man in charge of the Tarasuna. Plus, he belongs to the lineage of ancient art.
Whoa!
Strange.
I have been in Tarasuna for some time now. You have shown me great hospitality, as has Mikoshi Nagamasa, and indeed,
Mikoshi
everyone
Nagamasa.
else. Under your leadership, Tarasuna is a warm, welcoming place, like a giant village. As I understand, the Raiden Shogun has, in recent years, eliminated much of the evil that plagued Inazuma. As for Tarasuna, it was originally established as a means of safely disposing crystal marrow. The forging industry with crystal marrow as a raw material has since flourished, giving rise to generations of swordsmiths. Some world-renowned, others unknown, all passing on their legacy.
Right.
Skills, blood, dreams. Every smith brought into this trade looks to find their purpose between steel and blade. That is why you accepted the proposal brought to you by myself and Akame.
Akame?
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance,
Akame?
the two of you never would have joined forces. And he would be the first to admit that there's no way he could have revolutionized the forging process like this on
Akame
his
is
own.
crazy.
At least not on the same timescale. You allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method that you
Fucking
jointly
insane.
developed. He sold it to me, and now every piece of ore here is smelted using the new technique. Even now, you remain one of Tarasuna's key consultants, working right here alongside us.
This voice, I know
I
this
believe it
voice.
is you, sir, who are truly responsible for the changes in our manufacturing and forging methods.
You flatter me. From the outset, I saw much that was commendable in the forging industry of Inazuma. And it has been my great honor to befriend you all.
So you say, Escher. But is this really the truth?
My good sir, what do you mean?
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected. Because I didn't want to speculate. And I didn't want to believe that things could turn out this way.
Why does he kind of sound like Katsuki Bakugo in the dub for My Hero?
What have we gained from adopting your new technology?
I know this
Ominous
goddamn
black
voice.
smoke? Mounting production problems? Worker fatigue and casualties are up and continuing to rise at an alarming rate. And recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace.
Oh.
We've kept the truth from spreading outside, but still, I suspect you understand it better than I do. None of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuki Mono, is taking the Golden Feather to Narukami Island to seek an audience with Shogun.
No, come.
This is our last hope. But that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher? Nothing does. Otherwise, why would you still be standing there with that smile on your face?
Yeah.
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere. I'm sure you've been harboring these suspicions for quite some time.
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one common denominator among all these events. Namely you, Escher. But Mr. Mikoshi is more cautious than I. He does things by the book.
After all, Nagamasa is the adopted son of Mikoshi Torichiyo, the yokai struck down by the Shogun's own hand. If he truly seeks to redeem his family's honor, an abundance of caution is well advised.
You're well informed on the subtleties of his situation for a mechanic all the way from Fontaine. Are you sure you're not a little overqualified?
Why, Mr. Niwa, are you suggesting I find a job as a diplomat? Sadly, I am so very attached
Honestly,
to my
both of these
craft.
voices sound
Enough,
familiar.
Escher. I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. And someone needs to take your new device inside the high-risk zone so we can absorb it and put an end to the problem. I'm in charge here. And I'm about to take some responsibility and head inside. Probably to my death. But what about you? What are you still doing here?
Judging from the look in your eyes, you don't seem to trust me.
Drop the act. We're past that now. Whoever you are, it looks like your plan to destroy Tatarasuna has worked. I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers by now?
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment.
Yeah. Seen that
A
coming.
moment like this, where you finish talking and I stop you from entering the furnace.
You...
You're a little smarter than I initially gave you credit for. I thought I'd disguise myself exceptionally well, at least for the first few days. But to my surprise, you had your people look into my background right from the start. It's a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. Eventually, they managed to confirm that Escher was an alias, and that I was not from Fontaine at all. And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity.
Wait a
and
second.
what I seek in Tatarasuna.
Did you really think you would be able to see through my plan?
No way!
If you kill me, there's no one who can get inside the furnace. So you're really going to destroy this place?
Okay, first of all,
Is
that
that
voice
it?
is definitely Katsuki
Oh, but
Bakugo.
you're quite
But him! That's the doctor!
Person. Some may not see him as a person, but you told him yourself. You're not a puppet. You're a human. You're just missing a heart.
That's the doctor!
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this. They'll be found out. But this makes no sense. What are you really trying to accomplish by all this? Why go to all this trouble?
Okay, real quick. Niwa, your voice actor, it's either the same guy that does Katsuki Bakugo or like the same person that does Flock and what's his name? Is it Nagami? Maybe they're the same person. Who knows?
It's
But
no
that's-
trouble at all.
That's definitely the doctor.
Patience
That's
is
the
a
doctor.
virtue which I have in abundance.
Yeah, that's
This
holy
is all part of a
shit.
carefully controlled experiment. If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true identity. I'm a Fatui Harbinger. Call me the Doctor.
Yeah.
Fatui? Who? What do you want?
Just to create a minor inconvenience for your nation.
That's fucked up.
That's it. That's why you gave us your cursed technology? Just to let loose the evil energy from the crystal marrow?
Look how even the righteous soul is filled with venom when faced with its demise. My device functions precisely as you say. It is the only chance you have of preventing a catastrophe and keeping the truth from the outside world. However, I did not make it with you in mind. It is easier for a person to be possessed by evil spirits when they are filled with hate. So give in to your fury. I want to see what happens when a malevolent heart is placed into an unsuspecting puppet. Make no mistake, even without you, that pure, innocent puppet would only end up being used by someone else instead. What other reason would a human have for befriending one who is not of our kind?
If you give him
my heart. Tell him that both Nagamasa and I see him as one of us. He has nothing to prove to anyone. Because not everyone just wants to use other people. The only ones who think like that are people like you.
What a beautiful way to see the world. It almost makes me feel a little guilty. Think of me as a monster or a demon, if you wish. At least this way your death is not a consequence of your own folly turning you into an easy target. You simply lost to something more powerful than you could ever hope to defeat. I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend become a human? No, that will prove quite impossible. Mr. Niwa, already dead. What a pity. Jester, I have completed the task you gave.
Jester, huh?
Creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner workings. What fun it was. I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves useful, let's make him our newest comrade. And if not, let's turn him to dust.
Wow.
Hey, are you alright?
Dottore. Dottore! Good. Good.
Was that the doctor? Did he turn into a mechanic from Fontaine?
I'm afraid so. He was the one behind the Tatarasuna incident.
But why do we see things from his perspective?
When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this memory in his mind. You have to admit, it must be the truth.
Maybe so, but it means nothing.
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be the one to take the device into the furnace. You know very well what that means. Even more so than I.
She has a point. This betrayal was a lie. Wait. This betrayal was a lie that he has believed for hundreds of years. Was this part of the doctor's experiment? If the betrayal never happened, it existed only in his imagination. But where does this leave him?
Let's give him some space. He looks really mad. Paimon doesn't want to be anywhere near him right now.
Okay. Let's go over there.
We need to give him some time to process his emotions.
Paimon's still confused about the Tatarasuna incident. So, the doctor was behind it, but why has that gotten him so worked up?
Nobody has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. It's natural that you find it difficult to understand.
Exactly.
Perhaps he needed to learn this someday. So now you have the complete picture. Katsuragi took the Kabuki Mono to live with the people of Tatarasuna. Later, the doctor showed up, disguised as a mechanic from Fontaine. And that's when the trouble began. It was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Everything he did was just to plant seeds of disaster in Inazuma that would bear fruit in the future. Of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment, the balladeer became the main test subject. After the events you just saw in that memory, the doctor put Niwa's heart into the device and handed it to the balladeer. Then, he instructed him to enter the furnace and absorb all the filth caused by the smelting process. The load was far beyond what he expected, but the balladeer survived. He left the furnace in sheer exhaustion and said to the mechanic, "This device seems to have protected me. What's in it?" The mechanic answered, "Niwa fled this place for fear of punishment, but he left you a gift. He said it's the one thing that you've been looking for." He took it straight from the chest of one of his innocent servants. The mechanic removed the withered heart from the device as he spoke. The balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for his entire life. A heart acquired through cold-blooded murder is a cursed thing, but it had protected him from the filth. He thought Niwa had completely betrayed him, and yet this very betrayal had ensured his survival. Overwhelmed with anger and sorrow, the balladeer threw the heart to the ground and left Tatarasuna without looking back.
Holy moly. So the doctor killed an innocent man and pinned everything on the victim? That's terrible.
Being betrayed and abandoned by a close friend is sure to cause great resentment. Now we know what was behind his decision to take revenge on the Raiden Gokuden 100 years ago. But doesn't it mean that vengeance was the right decision?
Yes. Only if he understands this can he choose a new path forward.
Dottore, you brazen-faced... Niwa didn't run from justice. You killed him.
Shall we see how he's doing? Hey, you alright? That's a scary expression.
Are you worried about me? If we didn't have such a history, I'd almost think that qualifies me to be your friend.
We just want to make sure this doesn't affect the plan.
It won't. I'll keep my end of the deal.
Hey, are you investigating the stuff we want?
Anyone who comes from beyond this world is not counted as part of Teyvat.
Oh.
Okay.
Does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Not unexpected, but still. Thank you.
Don't thank me just yet. You look really upset. Well, since Irminsul was a dead end, I guess I can share some other info that might interest you.
Huh? About what?
Irminsul. It might have something. Conria was her first destination when she arrived in this world.
Yeah.
Plus, she only came to this world because the heavens responded to the summoning.
The summoning?
The heavens responded?
Right.
The Jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria, and lived with your sister for a time.
The Jetster? Another Fatui Harbinger? Why?
I don't know the details. It's up to you whether you want to believe me. All I can say is, I wouldn't lie to you about this. Did you get all that, Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Yes. Astonishing news.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul, but was it valuable?
Very valuable.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
That's a look.
Huh? What have you done?
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I use all of the divine power left in me, I can't sustain this shield for very long. I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a question for me.
What do you want to know?
Give me your hand.
Okay. Give him your hand.
Can you hear my voice inside your head?
Are you trying to brainwash me?
No, I can't do anything like that anymore. At most, all I can do is exchange a few words with you. So tell me, in this world, is it possible to change the past?
I so wish it was. Wait, why would you ask that?
Done.
Huh? What the? What happened? Paimon only saw you hold hands for a second.
Nothing. I was just thanking him for helping me.
Wait, that look. Did he see me hesitate? But was it because I know about Greater Lord Rigdavada? Uh-oh.
So long. I suggest you get yourselves out of here
I didn't
quickly.
get to read that. Fuck.
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running off?
Balladeer, stop! I'm not yelling that. Yes, I am. Balladeer, stop! Paimon! We have to stop him! That
Fast
last one could have been
reaction
better. Fast reaction
I don't think
time.
we'll be seeing each other again.
I think we will.
From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist. Those who died in Tatarasuna because of me deserve another chance at life.
Hey, Balladeer! Don't do anything stupid!
You know, I never did like insects. Hordes of the puny things swarming together can be a real nuisance. And I enjoy nothing more than to stamp them out like the pests they are. But if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone. Luckily, everything can be set right. It's time to solve this once and for all.
Balladeer! Balladeer! Uh-oh, he disappeared. Come on, we gotta find him somehow.
Nothing.
Oh no, he's really gone.
Oh, can you hear me?
Nahida!
Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer, what happened just now? I was suddenly cut off by some kind of power.
Balladeer's gone.
Balladeer's fault. He shut you out.
I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that with so little power left. Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or did he achieve something beyond his abilities, and it took everything he had?
Where the heck did he go? Ugh, it's all our fault. We were supposed to keep an eye on him. Sorry, Nahida.
Don't be. It's not your fault. Please, let me handle this from here, even though I'm not sure I can solve it. We're running out of time. Follow my lead and get out of Irminsul as soon as possible.
Okay. Alright. Wow. Holy mackerel. That was insane.
This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody will disturb you.
No, I want to help you. Isn't there anything I can do?
I'm sorry, but this isn't something I need your help with. Leave this one to me.
An emergency? How bad is it? Nahida, will you be okay?
Don't worry. If my assessment is correct, though there may be some minor disturbances, it won't lead to a disaster. Please rest and recover your strength here until I say it's safe.
Her voice has gone. Paimon can't shake the feeling that something really big has happened. What do you think the Balladeer meant? And why did he suddenly grab onto you before?
Paimon doesn't remember Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. And the Balladeer's question was a strange one. It's hard to explain in full, and the truth might be very distressing for Paimon. I'll skip the part about Greater Lord Rukkhadevata for now, and focus on the Balladeer. You tell Paimon what the Balladeer asked you, what he might have been planning.
But surely that's impossible.
It's not that easy for sure.
Rewrite history. All that stuff happened already in real life. It's like, imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn. Even if no one was there to see it, Paimon would sure as heck remember drinking it.
Yeah, great example.
So,
great
why does Paimon still have a bad feeling about this? Paimon can't help but feel scared about what he might do.
Why is my heart doing this? I thought about something completely unrelated to this, and my heart did a thing. God damn it. Having a crush is so fucking stressful.
Paimon's so confused.
But it's worth it. Maybe he wants to erase himself from history?
Huh?
Oh, Paimon, come on!
Sorry. Paimon accidentally... It's the Balladeer's fault for causing Paimon all this mental stress.
It's okay, Paimon. You and I both are going through a lot of mental stress.
But erasing yourself from history? It's unthinkable. Is that really possible in Irminsul?
Not necessarily, but maybe. I'm just guessing here. No, you're not. You know it's very much possible.
Uh-oh. Paimon's head is overheating from trying to understand what
Okay,
he's up
Paimon,
to.
take a deep breath.
Still not working.
Take a deep breath, Paimon.
Paimon's had it with that little brat. He's been nothing but trouble ever since we met him. There's no way he'll actually succeed, right?
It's possible.
Otherwise, won't everyone who's connected to him be affected too?
Indeed. If the Balladeer does erase himself from Irminsul, many people in Inazuma will be affected. I can't imagine what that situation will look like. Worst case scenario, it'll affect everyone with a connection to the Raiden Gokuden. Kazuha, Ayaka, Ayato. Will this mean that they'll disappear?
There's nothing we can do about it at this
no,
point.
because, remember when we got rid of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's memory from all of history? No one who knew about her disappeared, and everyone associated with her didn't disappear either. I'm specifically referring to Nahida.
Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep. But Paimon's still so worried. Paimon won't be able to sleep a week tonight.
Me neither.
So, how about, we list all our favorite foods to take our mind off things? Heck, if that doesn't work, Paimon's probably gonna collapse of anxiety here.
I want to collapse from anxiety every week, specifically related to school and a person. But that's not a topic for today. Can't you tell that I'm really going through it? I got it bad, okay?
Alright, Paimon will start. First dish. Munstack grilled fish. Oh,
Okay.
and chicken mushroom skewers.
Okay.
Tea break pancakes. Cream stew. Sauteed matsutake.
Matsutake. That's how you said that.
Andrean chili chicken.
Okay.
Tofu.
Okay.
Satisfying salad.
Okay.
Oh. Also, Adeptus Temptation. Golden
Yes.
shrimp balls.
Yes.
Triple layered consomme. Lotus seed and bird egg soup. And
What the fuck? Oh, I'm assuming time just passed. Okay. She was just listing so many names. Sleep? Paimon? What's wrong?
What was Paimon supposed to be doing just now?
That was confusing.
Talking? Huh. Paimon suddenly can't remember what she was talking about. What was it again?
This music. You were getting so worried about the situation with the balladeer that you started listing foods.
The balladeer? Is that a food too?
Huh?
Weird name though.
Paimon doesn't remember the balladeer. That must mean he actually pulled it off. But how did he have the ability? This doesn't make sense.
What's wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it something Paimon said?
No. It's nothing.
So, the balladeer. Is that someone's name? 'Cause it sounds like a nickname or something.
If this really is happening, I need to know what else has changed. Paimon, come with me.
Okay, sure. Where are we going?
I want to go back to Inazuma.
Huh? Fine by Paimon, but is everything okay? You're acting like this is an emergency.
Now's not the time to explain. Let's get over there first. Inazuma, I guess. Dance of Destruction. Okay. Alright. I guess we're going to Inazuma. I haven't been here in quite some time. I should make sure I put this ice cream away before it melts. I'm gonna go do that really quickly. Hold on. Okay, ice cream has been returned. let's continue this. We got some discoveries to make, because there's a lot going on. Oh god, I missed this Inazuma music. Why haven't I been back to Inazuma? It's been quite a while. I love Inazuma, one of my favorite nations.
We made it to Amanoma Smithy.
Amanoma Smithy.
Ah, it's been a while.
Pardon me. I'd like to ask a question, if I may.
Of course. Go ahead.
About the Raiden Gokuden. Could you tell me that story one more time?
No. Now there's a question I wasn't expecting. Very well. I'll tell you what I know once more.
Go on.
The once renowned Raiden Gokuden, comprised of 5 branches. Amenoma, Futsu, Ishin, Hyakume, and Senju.
Okay.
The art of forging practiced by these 5 clans was first taught to them personally by the almighty Shogun. Over time, the 5 branches diverged from one another as generations of bladesmiths honed and perfected their craft until they became 5 distinct traditions. Most of the great swordsmith clans of old have since fallen into decline, and for a long time, only the Amenoma branch kept its art alive. But fortunately, Kaedehara Kazuha recently returned to Inazuma and took up the mantle of the Ishin art. Now, 2 clans remain of the original Gokuden 5. If my memory serves me right, you yourself were present when he forged the Ishin blade.
I was present for that.
Oh yeah, we were. Paimon remembers that now. We learned a bit about the decline of the Raiden Gokuden then too. It seems like such a shame.
What was the reason behind their decline?
That, my friends, is a tragic tale indeed. In fact, this was not made known to me for most of my life. All these years, I knew of those great clans' demise, but never the cause. Only recently, when the question was on my mind, did I ask Kaedehara Kazuha about this. He told me that, as we are both heirs to a branch of the Raiden Gokuden, it was right that I should know the truth. There is no harm in telling you, but I must warn you. It is a dark and sorrowful tale. The Raiden Gokuden were the targets of a murderous rampage by a vengeful bladesmith.
Vengeful? Why?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a catastrophic malfunction in Tatarasuna's furnace. What Tatarasuna
I didn't
was
mean to
home
do
to
that.
a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation in that day. And overseeing it was the armory officer. His surname was Niwa, though he had family ties to the Kaedehara clan. Knowing that they had just one chance to save countless lives, Mr. Niwa and the swordsmith leaped together into the furnace. The furnace quickly stabilized, but neither of them made it out.
He changed the story.
Though heroic, dealt a devastating blow to his family's fortunes. His orphan son was left to fend for himself, and grew up deeply resentful at the world. In his heart, the whole of Inazuma was culpable in his tragedy. He hated the almighty Shogun for her apparent indifference towards his father's death, and he hated everyone who had done nothing to try and save him. Powerless and destitute, the only legacy he had to pass on to his children was his hatred. Generation after generation bore this grudge, living in utter misery. Alas, if only the story could have ended there. But 100 years ago, the then head of this family reached the end of his wits. He could bear their fate no longer, and yet he could do nothing to change it. Finally, he made a drastic decision to take revenge on the Raiden Gokuden. In doing so, he sought to vent his pent-up anger and shake the very foundations of Inazuma's forging industry. In his fury, he murdered indiscriminately, killing even bladesmiths from the Hyakume clan, which he belonged to. His goal was absolute, the devastation of all of the Raiden Gokuden. But when he came to the Kaedehara and Kamisato clans, his killing spree came to an abrupt end. He failed to catch them unawares. They fought back fiercely, and they did not spare his life. That is why the Kaedehara clan and their Ishin art survived that day. I suppose they were the lucky ones, under the dire circumstances.
The legend of the Raiden Gokuden has changed. Someone else attacked the swordsmiths. It looks like the balladeer did something in Irminsul. But it seems Niwa still died.
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Have you seen Kazuha recently?
Kazuha? Why, yes. Just yesterday, in fact. We spoke for a while over some tea.
Ah, shoot. I gotta stop on that. Whew. So he still exists. And he's the same Kazuha I know. Things don't seem as bad as I feared last night. Thank you. That's all. That's all.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Don't tell Paimon. There are other places you want to visit too, right? Your expression says it all. You can't hide anything from Paimon.
Paimon doesn't remember, but of course I remember because I'm not of this world.
Paimon will be right behind you.
Where to? The Yashiro Commission. Kitty! I didn't see it right there.
This is the Yashiro Commission's headquarters, so...
Traveler, it's been a while.
Hey!
If you're looking for the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I'm afraid your timing is unfortunate. They're not here right now.
Are they out on business?
The Commissioner is out on business, and Miss Kamisato is standing in for some meetings in the Commissioner's place. If it's urgent, you're welcome to wait inside until they get back.
What do you think? Shall we go in?
Thank you. We'll take you up on that offer. Can we take a walk in the courtyard?
If it were anyone else, I couldn't allow it. But seeing as you're so close with the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I think it should be okay.
We'll be heading in then. Thanks!
Hello, dears. Is there something you want to say?
Ma'am, can I ask you a couple questions?
Of course, traveler. Yes, I know who you are. Miss Kamisato has told me about you.
That's great. I don't care about that.
What would you like to know?
How are the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato this year? I can't English. How are the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato these days?
Oh, they're both very well indeed. Lately, Miss Kamisato has been rather busy attending all kinds of meetings and occasionally paying visits to some local organizations on the Commissioner's behalf. As for the Commissioner himself, well, you know, busy as ever. That much hasn't changed. Although, he does seem to be in a rather good mood these days.
No.
So pretty much business as usual in the Yashiro Commission, huh?
Very much so.
Ayato is still the Yashiro Commissioner, and Ayaka is still the Lady of the House. No changes there. As far as I can see, nothing has changed in the Yashiro Commission either. I was expecting as much, but still a big relief to know that the Kamisato siblings are both safe and well.
Well, got any more questions?
That's all for now. Many thanks.
You're very welcome. In fact, I would love nothing more than for you to come and visit more often. But I'm sure you must be far too busy to have time for that. Miss Kamisato talks about you all the time. She seems so thrilled to have you as a friend, and she's always saying how talented you are and how much she admires you. I must say, many things in Inazuma seem to have taken a turn for the better since you arrived here. So you're not just Miss Kamisato's knight in shining armor, you know. You're a hero to us all.
Aw, I'm flattered.
Oh, I mean it. Whenever the commissioner dines at home, Toma always joins
there's
him.
the name I was waiting for.
I always
Toma.
find myself at my most relaxed when I'm serving the two of them and listening to them chat away.
Press the button.
The commissioner has such a busy schedule that he doesn't always have the chance to take his meals at home. But given the opportunity, he always prefers to dine here. They say it's because Toma's a much better chef than most.
I mean, have you had some of Toma's cooking? A guy can throw it down.
Fond of home comforts. They get to talking about you sometimes too, you know. Always with a very fond tone. The way one would talk about dear old friends around whom one can truly be themselves. Miss Kamisato occasionally joins them as well. Whenever the whole family gets together and they start talking about people they've met and experiences they've had, you always get a mention. It's been many years now since the late Mr. and Mrs. Kamisato passed away. Much has happened in the Kamisato clan in that time. As someone who is old and gray enough to have watched their son and daughter grow up, it makes me so happy to see them meet a dependable friend whose company they enjoy so much. So, in the future, if you ever do have the time, please know you are always very welcome at the Yashiro Commission headquarters. There will always be at least one old lady who would be delighted to have the pleasure of your company.
That's what I want to do. Thank you. The people of the Kamisato clan are very dear friends to me. I will visit again.
Wonderful.
I just put the two together.
Thank you.
Paimon likes it here too. Also, you were saying something about the food here being
Yo,
really great.
you gotta stop. You gotta stop with the food.
To try it. We may just have to invite ourselves around for dinner sometime. Paimon meant we should come pay a visit again real soon. Ideally around dinner time.
You gotta stop.
Of course. You're always welcome.
Alright, goodbye for now. Where are we going next?
To Tarasuna.
Great! Goodbye, ma'am. Don't worry, we'll see ourselves out.
All right, then. Take care now. Hope to see you soon.
Oh, are you two leaving already?
Yep.
I knew he was gonna say
Everything's
something.
taken care of now. Don't worry.
Very well. Safe travels. Goodbye.
Yeah. On our way to Tatarasuna. This is certainly so very eventful. Ah, Inazuma. Forgot how much I miss this place. This guy. Remember him? Xavier? Great inventor?
Well, here we are. But what are we looking for?
Paimon's probably so confused while we're on this journey.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is that the Traveler and Paimon?
Your eyes are not deceiving you.
What are you doing here?
Did you just call him Xavier?
I was in the general area, and
Xavier?
now I'm in this specific area. There, that's me. So what about you two?
We have some questions and thought you might be able to help.
Do you know much about Tatarasuna?
Certainly do. I've researched the furnace here in some depth.
Tell me about it.
If there's anything you want to know, just ask away.
How well do you understand the history of this area?
Like the back of my hand. Make no mistake, I have been here a good many times before. Not only that, but I've met people in Inazuma whose families used to live in Tatarasuna years ago. They said it's all true, the history here.
Go on. I'm listening.
Oh, well, it's a long story, don't you know? The tale of Tatarasuna starts a long time ago.
We got all day.
I'm told that its history is one of the most foremost forging and smelting operations in the nation. Goes back around 1,000 years. Still, the furnace has had a couple of serious maintenance issues along the way.
A couple? When exactly?
One was just in the last few years, the other was several hundred years ago. A fun fact, I'm not the first Fontaine tech guy to come and work on it either. There was a guy back then too. They say he was a mechanic who consulted on a technology upgrade. It seems like the technological collaboration between our two nations goes back a long way. How about that?
Why is there like something interesting about, there's a certain tone in your voice that reminds me a lot of the Doctor. Do you and the Doctor have the same voice actors? Who knows? Mechanic, huh? Looks like the Doctor still sabotaged the furnace, leading to all the ensuing chaos. Pretty sure the Balladeer just wrote himself out of this. Hey, weren't you gonna... Oh wait, fuck, she just said that. I'm not tripping. I am!
Oh, I didn't realize you two were here for a history lesson.
For a history lesson?
Paimon doesn't know what's gotten into this one today. Feels like we've been preparing for a history exam or something.
What brought this on? Did you just wake up today with a sudden burning desire for historical knowledge?
Pretty much. So, can I ask one more question?
Sure, go ahead.
Have you ever heard of a kabuki mono connected to the Tatarasuna?
A kabuki mono?
Told you.
No, I can't say that I have. I do know the word, Inazuman, for those eccentric types who always go around dressed to the nines. Just the sort of person that I'd like to meet, actually. But sadly, I've never had the pleasure, nor have I come across anything to do with a kabuki mono where Tatarasuna is concerned.
So there's no more kabuki mono. Did the Balladeer really manage to erase himself? I didn't get to read that last part. If so, he must have wanted to change the world and revert everything back to the way it was. But so far, looks like the majority of changes have only affected himself.
Of course! Don't mention it.
Oh, we're leaving? Okay, bye, Xavier.
Xavier? 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 That... I guess that's how you say his name. But a good old-fashioned English. That word should say Xavier, you know, because I've seen many people spell Xavier like that, you know, Xavier, Xavier.
Oh,
but
you're
hey, you
most
know what?
welcome.
I
More
guess
than
you're just
happy to
Xavier.
Farewell.
However you want to pronounce it. You do you, Xavier.
Looks like you got all the information you're looking for.
Time to go back and see Lesser Lord Crocodile.
Sure, but what's up with you today? Whatever it is, it seems like it's really troubling you.
All will be explained soon enough.
Keep your smile, Spinal Crocodile. No matter what happens, Paimon will always be there for you.
I like that line. Keep your smile, Spinal Crocodile. Nice. Alright. Thank you, Paimon.
Hey, don't mention it. Alright, let's head off and go eat the Hida.
Back to Scenario. Sanctuary. No Sanctuary of Sarastana. I don't know why I just started laughing like this. Okay, never mind. I was right. We are returning to the Sanctuary of Sarastana.
Hey, it's them.
Hey.
Akaba, Sawada.
Akaba.
You're still here?
Indeed we are. If you have a moment, we'd love for you to join us once more.
We have time. What do you want to talk to us about?
It's the same topic we discussed last time.
Obviously. Okay, continue.
Still looking
Looks
for
like a
more
mad
info about
scientist.
Tatarasuna, huh? Should we join them?
We might as well.
Unfortunately, we haven't made any real progress.
The article that you let me read last time was great. Can I read it again?
Huh? Oh, of course.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. Uh-huh. Ooh. This is the one. So there's no more mention of a Kabuki Mono. Okay. Interesting.
I presume you'll want to read mine as well. Here.
I'm pretty sure this is gonna have the exact same result. No mention of a Kabuki Mono. I like how they highlight the changes in this. Okay. The content has changed. Another effect of tampering with the information in Irminsul. The balladeer said he'd erased 2 names of his. But if he really succeeded, he must have taken all his might. But still.
Well, what do you think?
A masterpiece!
Remember how last time Akaba was saying how you wish she could gather more information about all this? Well, we just got back from Inazuma. So how about we tell them what we learned?
Sure.
What did you find out? Something big?
It's a long story. Basically, we have some friends in Inazuma, and...
We're gonna get to the point. Yeah.
Wow. So many new details. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Well, well. So it all comes down to one man's desire for revenge. Huh. You heard this from a member of the Armanoma clan, you say? Then I guess it must be true. Ugh. So there's no ghost story here after all.
This new information actually lends further credence to my hypothesis. Evidently, swordsmiths were seen as having an incredibly prestigious role in society those days, to the extent that harming them was conceived of, at least by the perpetrator, as a way of exacting revenge against those in power.
Yes, okay, point taken, you were right. But that doesn't mean I can't carry on with my novel.
And they're back at it. These guys are really into this.
We've got some things to take care of. Bye for now.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Look at us, prattling on about our projects and ignoring you. Thank you so much for the information.
You're welcome. See ya.
We
Keep us
gone.
in the loop if you find out anything else.
Will do.
We gone. Yo, Nahida, I know you got questions. Not questions. You gotta have answers for us. You gotta. It's gotta be something big we're missing here. Nahida, yo. I got questions. Listen, I know what you said, but it can't wait.
Traveler, Paimon, how have you been?
Ugh, where to start? Paimon hasn't had a moment's rest this whole time. That night, we ended up chatting until suddenly...
Nahida's not gonna remember.
And then, he decided he wanted to go to Inazuma.
I was investigating the situation with the balladeer.
The balladeer? It sounds like some kind of code name.
Oh no.
You look troubled. Is there something you need to tell me?
Say the name Scaramouche. Just say Scaramouche instead of the balladeer. The balladeer acted quickly. He finished erasing himself before Nahida could stop him. I'm the only one who still remembers the thing that we're erased. I'm the only one who still remembers the thing that we're erased. Jesus.
Hey, what's wrong? You look so upset.
There are things that have happened that only I can remember. I have to tell you the truth. There once was a name, the balladeer, created by the Electro Archon. He was a puppet who lived among men. After a series of events in Tatarasuna, the balladeer, thinking he had been thrice betrayed, left Inazuma to roam the world beyond. With no trust for humans and only loathing for the gods, he bore his grudge for years as he grew in strength, then returned to Inazuma to take his revenge. He tried in vain to become a deity with the Gnosis and ended up losing everything. Finally, he entered Irminsul and learned the truth behind his betrayal. Knowing now that his entire life, I messed that up. Knowing now that his entire life was built on lies, he did the unthinkable. In an attempt to reverse his tragic fate.
That's quite a story. So, this puppet known as the balladeer erased himself from Irminsul, hoping that he could change the past.
Yeah, this just happened yesterday.
How was he even able to do that?
Should we tell him about Greater Lord of Rukadabada?
As the traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little differently. I don't recall finding anyone inside the machine after we defeated it. Nevertheless, it does make sense. If someone were to successfully erase themselves from Irminsul, the world would change to reflect the new reality.
So, you believe this person really existed, and we just don't remember him because, well, Has he literally changed the world?
Quite literally.
Yes. Theoretically speaking, it is possible to do this. But I'm struggling to imagine the kind of person who would dare go through with it. The Traveler comes from a world beyond to that. That's why there's no information about him in Irminsul, and it also explains why any changes to Irminsul wouldn't affect him.
Exactly.
So if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining
thus also
from a
clearing up
past
that Paimon is from
it's
Teyvat.
you. It's quite incredible
Obviously.
when you think about
We kind
it.
of already knew that, though. You can say that again.
Paimon's having a hard time understanding this balladeer guy's motivations. Why did he do it?
I can only make inferences based on the information we've been given. As for what kind of person he was, only you remember that.
I'm not really sure. We were enemies, after all. I don't know his perspective on all this, so I can't say why he would do something so extreme. I kind of haven't lived that part because I fucked up. Did he want to reset everything? Or save someone? Or did he want to completely undo his existence? Everything can be set right. It's time to solve this once and for all. Maybe that's all there is to it. I still remember the question he asked me. He asked me specifically. I still remember the question he asked. He asked me specifically, and my hesitation gave him his answer. My Nahida just looking at me like that. I hesitated because I witnessed Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's erase of her own existence. But I can't tell Nahida that. To put it in another way, I know why the balladeer was so sure it could work. But I can't tell them that.
Something else worrying you? Something that you can't share?
I just feel empty. Why he chose such a radical option, and yet
It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had died, right?
yes.
Once the balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, it must have completely changed his view of the people of Tatarasuna. Now he saw them as friends again. He couldn't keep hating humans after that. And if he thought there was a chance he could save his old friends, it would be hard not to try. The story makes sense, every part of it. The balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the doctor's help. He was unsuccessful, but retained the power to connect with Irminsul. That power then enabled him to change what was recorded in Irminsul and erase himself, even though he didn't have much strength left.
Yeah, it does make sense, but it still ended in tragedy for his friends. It just feels so hopeless. He gave everything to do this, but it seems like he got nothing in return.
Yeah. He changed the world in many ways, and yet the dead still didn't get a second chance. Those fated to a tragic end could not be saved. What exactly did he want to fight back against? The betrayals in his life? Or did he wish he never existed at all?
Please wait a moment. I want to check something. Found it. This should be the one.
What the heck?
It turns out that I have a strange way of confirming everything he has told us.
What is it?
A record from a personal collection. It was tucked away in a corner. You should take a look.
I shall take a look. Surprisingly, the information you presented in a way that resembles a fairy tale. I had to read that really fast, so I kind of butchered it. This matches everything I said.
I authored this record myself.
Huh? You wrote a fairy tale that somehow has something to do with the Balladeer?
When combined with the Traveler's narrative, it's clear that this story is an allegory. Everything in it is a symbol for something else.
Hold on. So this record survived from the past?
Yes. Any information about the Balladeer or the Kabuki Mono in other records will have been changed. But I wrote this story in a way that means it was left intact. Changing the information in Irminsul changes to that. But Irminsul can't change information that was well hidden in advance. I guess I must have written this story as a backup before the Balladeer entered Irminsul.
That's incredible! What a great idea!
And sending the Traveler into Irminsul with the Balladeer must have been a further precaution. I knew he'd remember everything. This story is abstract enough that it still resonates with the present information recorded in Irminsul. But if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story that emerges is the one he told us. The now erased life of the Balladeer. There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster found a family of foxes, joined them, and they became friends. The monster lived with the family day and night, and everyone treated it as one of their own. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur at night and lament to itself as it gazed at its reflection in the water.